take a second to talk to you about underdogs.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for
Yeah.
you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast, man. We back. So listen, I know I said I was going to go till live till Sunday, but I lied. So this is a little bit of an impromptu live, but we in here, man. We about to talk about this Eagles game, man. And if y'all want to talk about the Nets tonight, we could talk about that as well, because y'all know what time it is with that. But either way, you know what I mean? But this is it, man. I don't have much in the way of hope for you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have much in the way of optimism as far as this game. I think that we can win this game. I've said that before. It's about execution. It's about this coaching staff getting their head out of their rear end and finally running the ball, taking the decision out of Jalen Hurts' hand, if that's what is holding it back, which I don't think it is 100%. But you know, it's time that something changes, man. It is time that something changes. I'm dropping a video later on around like 7:30, but you know, basically in that video, I kind of talk about how I'm starting to feel like this is a wasted season. I'm starting to feel like the Eagles are wasting their time this year. Like, I don't feel like we're learning anything, and I don't feel like you're putting your players or your coaching staff, for that matter, in situations to win. So I don't know. You know, I'm hoping that this game is the turnaround that we need. I'm hoping that, you know, I will keep wanting to say Oakland. I hope that the Las Vegas Raiders were kind of riding off of a high of losing their coach and kind of having everybody doubting them. So maybe that's kind of what sent them through that, you know, to that. But they are 4-2. So who knows? Maybe they are just a good team. They got a team full of veterans. We just can't seem to get out of our own way. So I feel like if we do that this week, we have a good chance of winning. But we haven't done that like all year. All year I've been waiting for that. All year I've been saying all we have to do is get out of our own way. And we just haven't done it, man. So we'll see what happens. But this is it. You have to go all in on this game. You know what I'm saying? You're in Vegas. You got to throw all the chips down. This, you know, I hate to keep throwing puns out there, but it's just one of those days. But you know what I'm saying? But you have to go all in, man. You have to try different things, try different plays, try different players. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a time that you're going all in, because there's nothing else you can lose. We have not learned anything. We haven't necessarily taken, I can't say that I've sat here and taken anything from this season that I can say next year, oh, this is awesome. This is what we're going to build around. We don't have that. You know what I'm saying? We weren't great when we had Fletcher Cox, when we drafted Zach Ertz, when we drafted, you know, Kelsey, all these guys, but we knew we were going somewhere. I don't feel that with this team. And maybe it's the coach. Maybe it's the exposure of these the GM in the front office and Lurie and their ways finally coming out. I don't know. I really don't know what it is. But this game just feels like a game that if you don't win, you know, I mean, look, we got the Lions, so that could be a turnaround game as well. But this is one of those games you got to take advantage of, man. They're not a good run team. I don't think that they've had an individual runner over 100 yards all season. I think that, you know, I think Josh Jacobs is averaging around like 12 to 16 carries, if something around there. I could be wrong, but he's not. He's hitting like 60, 70 yards at best. So I don't know. I just don't know, man. I really don't know. I want to see this defense finally step up against the run. I would love to see Davion Taylor start. I really would. I would love to see Davion Taylor start. Maybe throw Sean Bradley in there more. You know, maybe switch it up. I don't know. I think maybe if you want to keep an Alex Singleton, fine. I'm not totally against that. You know, Eric Wilson, I feel like, has given us nothing at all, realistically. Like, he hasn't given us anything at all. Jennard Avery's been good in spots. I don't know. Ryan Kerrigan has been kind of, It's been a disappearing act since he's been in Eagles green. So it's just a bunch of questions still at this linebacking position. We knew going into this that it was going to be like that. And I know Ryan Kerrigan isn't a main, full-time linebacker, but we kind of have him playing in that capacity coming off the line. So, we'll see what happens. But what's going on, Carlos? What's going on, Philly Girl? What's going on, Ewing? What's going on, Rome? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Philly Girl. Definitely subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Like the stream, what I'm saying? Let's get them likes up. The game determines if Nick Kotite is eating cannolis or needs to go. Dingbat. Sirianni, look, man. Sirianni, to me, is kind of tied at the hip with Jalen Hurts right now. Like, they're both probably going to get the same amount of time, in my opinion. I feel like Nick Sirianni is a scapegoat. That's what I really feel like. I feel like Nick Sirianni was brought in because they knew they weren't going to be that good of a team, and they needed somebody to just kind of take the fall. And them being, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman. That's how I feel. And I'm not really one of those, tinfoil hat guys, but don't know about the Eagles, but gonna be great watching JoJo and the gang give the Nets an L in season opener at Wells Fargo. Well, I'm a Nets fan, so I'm hoping the opposite happens. We'll see what happens, though. L. Johnson, Wallace, Tyree Jackson all need to play. Yeah, apparently we'll see what happens with Tyree Jackson. I don't know if he's playing. I know he's been doing, like, individual drills. We'll see. They gave up. It's just, as a businessman, you have to know what not to say more so than what to say sometimes. And when you say that you gave up Zach Ertz, because you had somebody like Tyree Jackson, now you're putting unfair, expectations on a Tyree Jackson. And I'm seeing, articles like, is Tyree Jackson the next Darren Waller? Is we haven't even seen this man play a game yet at the tight end position. So, I don't know. Mr. Ralph said, what's going on? Mr. Ralph said, I'm done listening to press conferences too. Until you do what you say you're going to do, I'm not listening. Yeah, and look, the quote of the week for me this week is that he said he's going to be looking at the run-pass ratio and trying to figure out and self-scout and look at the other teams and see what they're doing around the league. So maybe that is what clicks in his mind, is that, other teams run the ball to establish the pass. Maybe I can do that. Maybe that's what he learns from that. He needs to learn something. Because realistically, like, what we're doing is not working. And I said this before. I'd rather fail trying something new than just continuously hit my head against the same wall, man. Like, it makes no sense to do that. And I hope Miles Sanders has faith in this organization to, like, get him involved at some point. But I don't know. If I'm Miles Sanders, I'm starting to give up too. I'm starting to be like, why am I even putting my body on the line? Like, I'd rather go play somewhere else. So I don't know. I feel like things can fall apart if we lose this game in the same fashion that we've been losing games. If it's just a game where we run the ball 8 times with everybody, you know what I'm saying? If it's a game where our offense literally gets nothing going because it's a bunch of screens and it's all predictable, I think it's going to be real ugly. And Kelsey needs to bring back that energy. The coach's door been sending it to Ben Simmons. Kelsey, yeah, we've seen it in 2017, right? 2017, they all went to the coach's office and basically said we need to run the ball more. And, maybe that's what needs to happen now. It's sad that you need your team to tell you that. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. I don't know if it's the coaches that we're getting or if it's just a organizational thing. Like, it's an organizational thing to not run the ball. Look at the Browns, their third string running back had a good light. Yeah. But that's because they have run schemes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they understand the importance of the run. Baritone podcast broke down his coaches planning against our RPOs, but no adjustments from our coaches. Yeah, I just don't know. Because I feel like RPOs are designed so that if one thing isn't open, the next thing is. So it comes down to reading the field as well. But yeah, if it's not working, you got to try something different. Free Miles Sanders. Nah, that ain't happening. Speaking of which, Sixers and Nets versus. Listen, the Nets didn't look that good in their opening game. I can't talk. But hopefully we get it together, man. I like Nick Claxton. I'm glad that we're giving him burn. Like, he got like 20-something minutes last night or the last game. So hopefully they do that again. If it'll be interesting to see him on JoJo. I'm not going to cap. Joel Embiid's probably going to kill him. But, hey, it'll be fun to watch. It'll definitely be fun to watch. I don't know where I'll be for it, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on that game. But, I mean, at the end of the day, listen, we have to win this game. So what I'm looking for is this team to just be totally different. Be the exact opposite of what you've been, right? You said that yourself, Scout, and you said you've rewatched what you're doing, rewatched the pass run ratio and all those nice words that you want to throw out there. But you have to implement it now. Now you have to actually show that you're a coach. Show that even if it's taking the decision and the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hand, if that's where you need to be right now, that you just feel like you have to make the overriding decision and simplify it that much for Jalen Hurts, then do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a coach, you got to realize your job's on the line either way. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you say no to your head coach and win, I mean, it's going to be hard for them to really, I mean, no, I know that they were upset about the Green Bay game. They were upset about the Green Bay game because we ran so much. But it's really hard. Let them get exposed. Don't continuously just put yourself in bad situations. I want to blame Howie so bad for the lack of running, but he's the same dude who traded for Ajayi. I can't understand. Yeah, I mean, 2017 just feels like an outlier. It just feels like, you know, more of the exception than the rule. I just don't get it. And you win a Super Bowl off the run. So my thing is like, okay, if Doug Peterson was the type of coach that just didn't want to run the ball and it was him, then okay. But now we got this guy that literally doesn't run the ball at all, and you guys haven't said anything. Like, you guys haven't really done anything. And if you have said something and he's not changing it, then why is he, you know what I'm saying, why is he still here? So it begs the question, like, are you guys cool with it? Is this what you want? Is this what you've been looking for? And I've seen people saying that, you know, maybe they're just trying to, you know, give Jalen Hurts the baptism by fire type thing. You know what I'm saying? Just make him throw the ball all the time and see what happens. Put him in bad situations. But this isn't a 17-game, you know, preseason. Like, ain't nobody trying to watch that. We trying to go out there and win some games. Like, you can learn while winning games. Like, I think that's a better way of learning at the end of the day. And right now you're just learning to lose. Like, and it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. You're turning it on in the fourth quarter. We see that you have something that you can do. We see that you have some type of spark to this offense, and then you immediately lose it. Like, there's nothing that is solid with this team. It's just so annoying. Nothing's consistent on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, the defense, I think the defense has been decent, to be real with you. I really do. Outside of the linebacking play, I think our defense has been pretty good. What's going on, Drew? What's going on? Okay, not saying y'all won't, but if y'all lose and y'all don't see a change, what's the option? I mean, I'm not saying there's really an option. I'm not going to lie, because it feels like I said, I feel like this is an organizational thing more so than just like, there's nobody you can really bench and everything turns around outside of Howie. Can we bench Howie? Can we bench Howie and Jeffrey? Like, outside of that, who can you really bench and see a big difference? Maybe you change your offense because you put in a Gardner Minshew, but if you do that, then what, you just didn't want Jalen Hurts. Like, if that's the thing, if that's what it is, then just be real with that. You know what I'm saying? You don't think Jalen Hurts has it, then you think Jalen Hurts, it is cool. That's cool. But don't, like, prolong it for the fans, or don't prolong it for, I don't know what it is. Like, you gave this kid the captain on his shirt. You gave him the C on his chest. Like, he's a captain in his first full season as a starter. You know what I'm saying? And for what? For what? What decisions is it? Like, it just makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. Everything that this team has done, and I know that that's like a team, you know, voted on thing, but everything that this team has done this season and this offseason just seems like pandering. It seems like everybody's just saying what they think the fans want to hear, and they're not actually following through with it. Like, if you're gonna lose anyways, might as well try and lose the way the fans want to watch. Like, if you hear everybody saying run the ball 30 times one day, and if you lose, then hey, at least we can't sit here and complain. We just understand we're a bad team. But you leave us here thinking like, oh, maybe it's just the coaching, maybe it's just him, maybe it's just like, no, it's just the whole philosophy's bunk. It makes no sense what you're doing. Imagine Minshew starts getting playing time. I wouldn't even be surprised. And if they did that, that would be like the dumbest thing in the world, man. Like literally the imagery that you give. You give a young man the C on his chest. You make him a captain, which, does he deserve it? Did he deserve it? Who knows? I don't know. He got it. God bless him. But he goes out there. He's not given the help that he needs. He doesn't seem like he really developed from the year prior. There has to be some type of football decisions made by football minds at some point. And I just feel like if you look at all these decisions over the past season, if you look at all the coaching decisions, like Howie didn't even have a say in the coaching decision. So if you don't trust Howie enough to make a say in the decision of who your coach is going to be, who he's directly working above, why is he here? Why is he? Everything just feels like pandering, if I'm being 100%. Like, everything feels like pandering. I wonder why Miles isn't a captain. I wonder why Miles ain't getting the burn. Like, I really don't understand what the heck they're doing. Like I said, and this is a perfect example. The Las Vegas Raiders aren't a great running team. You know what I'm saying? They don't run the ball well, but they run the ball a lot. They still average like around 20 to 22, actual running back carries. And then you add in Derek Carr gets like, 3 or 4 of his own. But it just doesn't make sense. It seems like an organizational thing. It seems like it's never going to change as long as Howie is running this team. Or maybe it's Jeffrey Lurie. Maybe he needs somebody that'll just be like, listen, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Just chill, and I'm going to go get this team a ring. Like, it seems like we need somebody to just finally put their foot down, man. Because, like I said, we keep looking back at that 2017 season. It took the team going to the coach and being like, this is what we need to do for them to finally do it. What's going on, Scoop Doo? In all my years being an Eagles fan, never saw a coaching staff like this. I don't even call it. I don't even think it's the coaching staff. I really don't. I think it's Howie and Jeffrey are finally getting their way. Like, I really do feel like that's what it is. I do think that this coaching staff is trash. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like anybody they would have brought in would have done the same thing, because this is what they wanted. You continuously, as a owner and a GM, you guys have continuously hired, and I say continuously, it's only been a couple hires, but the guys that you've hired have all been rookies to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? All been rookies to the NFL. So you're getting new head coaches, not rookies to the NFL as far as like, ever being a coach, but NFL head coaching. So like you're bringing in these rookie head coaches that really don't have say, and like they can't say anything because like, Devin Caney was saying this when we had her on. You're like, your job is on the line. This is your boss. You know what I'm saying? And you've never been in this situation. You don't want to get fired for saying no, but like, winning cures all, man. Winning cures all. And like, at the end of the day, if we saw, look at Doug Peterson. I feel like we gave the front office a little bit of too easy of a pass on that fire. I think that we all saw a bad year from him and we were like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Fire him. No, it didn't make sense. That man came in here and brought us a ring. You know what I'm saying? I don't care that we thought that it was Frank Reich or this or that. We heard all the rumors about how Jeffrey Lurie and how he got mad after running the ball, winning against Green Bay Packers. Like, we were consistently a competitive team. That's what we were. And we actually ran the ball more than this. Like, so it's like, you look back at that, I feel like we gave him an easy pass, and we're going to we continuously give him an easy pass. 2017, y'all was the number 1 rushing team. We were number 3. We were number 3 in rushing. I doubt it's Jeffrey Lurie for some odd reason, though. I don't know. Maybe it's Howie, but if it is Howie, it's still on Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you got to see that this man is ruining your team. You know what I'm saying? Like, from the rumors of him talking junk to players, from the rumors of him, making terrible draft decisions, going over his scout's head. Like, come on. I mean, it's on both of them. When an employee is messing up and it's obvious, it becomes the employer's job to take care of that issue. And he hasn't done that. My thing is, if this is considered Lurie and Howie having their way, what's the benefit? Because at the end of the day, it still makes them look bad at their jobs. Look, Lurie's not going nowhere. Lurie's the owner of this team. Like, he ain't going, nobody can fire him. But, Howie's going to, at some point, Howie's going to have to pay the piper. And then it's going to be interesting to see what direction we go in. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we are to not extend Howie after this season, let's say that we don't extend Howie. Then what? Who do we pick up? You know what I'm saying? Do you just give what's his name? Do you just give Nick Sirianni the power? I mean, I doubt it, especially after a year like this. Who gets the power? Who do you try and go after somebody like a Louis Riddick who's actually going to have an opinion? Like, that'll be interesting. I think it has to be Lurie. No one is dumb and everyone hears the noise. So who can put this on the field and not get fired? Someone who can't get fired. Exactly. It's true. It's true. It's like, what is he? Isn't nothing's going to happen. And even if it's him just like threatening these guys, like not like, oh, I'm a whoop your ass. No, like, you know, like, listen, man, this is what I want. And if I don't get what I want, then I'm not going to be, you know, I'm not around for it. So it could just be the coaching staff saying, all right, we're going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that Jalen Hurts can't be this type of quarterback that they want, which is unfair to him. Don't get me wrong. And we're going to move on. But at that point, just move on. You knew that before this season. So is Lurie dumb enough to come in and say, like, listen, this is what the offense I want, and I definitely want Hurts here to run it? Like, I don't think he is. So at some point, it trickles down, and there were bad decisions made all around. But, it starts at the top. Howie been an issue for years, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Howie gets promoted to owner. That's like his brother. That's like his little son, man. Howie is like legitimately Jeffrey Lurie's son, man. Like, or maybe illegitimately, I don't know. But that's his little golden boy. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. I said this off season. I knew it. Like, there's no way he's going anywhere. When you take care of what your owner wants and you do it, and you finally get a ring, they're gonna milk that ring like it was all on them. Like, they're the ones that actually did it. What's going on, Pocket QB Lamar Jackson? If they don't run Sanders, they lose easily. It's an easy concept. It's one of the easiest thought process. You got to think about this. There's no thought process that goes into this. Run the ball. It's an easy fix. I don't understand why they don't want to do it. I just don't understand why they want to do it. I think Howie's going to make a move before the deadline. We don't have much to give up. Unless you start giving up these draft picks, and I don't want to do that. Who are we really gonna get that's gonna help us in the future? That's my question. You missed out on CJ Henderson. Stephen Gilmore, I don't think really was a miss. I mean, I think he could have helped us now or whatever, but he wouldn't have helped us in the future. Jalen Smith, again, I don't think was a miss. I don't think he was that good of a player. You could argue that he was better than what we have now. But you could also argue that he's definitely not. So, I mean, I don't think that was a miss. But realistically, who's out there that you look at and you're like, oh, that guy can help us right now and the future? You can look at somebody like Deshaun Watson, but Deshaun Watson ain't coming here. Deshaun Watson is not coming here. He has said before he is not waiving his no-trade clause to come to Philadelphia. And I don't blame him. Well, I'll be right back, y'all. All right, my bad. But yeah, you said Corey Clement got more touches with my Cowboys in the Eagles game versus the Cow. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. I don't get it. Like, we're historically lacking a running game. Like, and what's crazy is that we're top 5, top 10 at the very, very worst in most running categories outside of the actual run attempts. You know what I'm saying? It makes zero sense. And he's our third string running back. Our front office will never adapt to change at all. And it's Is it all on Lurie? No. Because at the end of the day, if I'm Howie, I'm standing up for myself. You've been here for 20 years. If you think that you know football, which at this point you should somewhat, make some good decisions and tell Jeff, listen, just I got this. Or if it's Howie, Jeff, be like, Howie, fall back. You know what I'm saying? If you're the coach, have a backbone. We need a coach with a backbone. At first, maybe Doug was just kind of a pushover, and then he won that Super Bowl and was like, listen, I'm going to make some decisions. Wasn't able to make those decisions. And, he got sour about it. I don't blame him. It's kind of ridiculous what the positions we're putting ourselves in. My Cowboys front office isn't much better. We'll see what happens with y'all, man. We'll definitely see what happens with y'all. I was about to say Cowboys, too. The NFC East has just been a joke. I mean, the Washington football team are under, mad surveillance. They gotten all their emails looked at. So that'll be a team that'll probably implode pretty soon. The Giants are the Giants. The Giants are just terrible, if we're being 100% honest. I mean, that's the one thing I wake up in the morning and I say, I'm not a Giants fan, but it is what it is. But either way, I do got to get out of here, man. I just wanted to come on here for a little while and talk to kill some time because, like I said, I got to take care of the wifey today. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure she's straight. But either way, man, maybe I'll come back on later on tonight. I don't really know what I'll be doing. We do have a video dropping at 7:30. But other than that, I appreciate all y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace!
Everywhere, this is for you.
Yeah. Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for